Day 25, video log, Cave City, Kentucky. Rested and recovered. It just goes to show you how when people are tired, they're not the nicest of people to be around, It's like, I slept for 11 hours straight. Oh, it was good sleep too, and it was much needed. And afterwards, it was just like, I feel so much more grounded, like, I know what I'm doing here now. And I know I can forcefully, with strength and solidarity, have focus again, And I think sleep is very important, especially out here on the road, It's like we need it more than we think we do, And sometimes it doesn't come as easy as it is, when you're working the 9 to 5, and you got a set schedule and everything like that. So just taking it when I can here, and had the ability to sleep in for 11, or sleep early, and then wake up around 6:30, 7:30, and it was nice. It was real nice. And so as we were walking out, coming into Cave City, Kentucky, the very first thing we saw that morning was the sheriff of the town. We like this, he went up to the window, and you could see with emphasis, enthusiasm, he had his thumb up to the window. And such a cool sight, man. Such an inspiring sight. The sheriff of the town was just like, yeah, you guys are rocking. And he didn't end up talking with us, but still, we understood what he meant just by his action right there. That alone really put it together. As we were walking, I had a blister that opened up, and I had to hitch a ride, and it didn't heal last night, so I had to hitch a ride. And about 5 minutes with my thumb up, a guy named Marty comes by and picks us up. He's like, yeah, I saw your friends back there with flags, man. What's going on with you? I was like, oh, I told him the story. Had a blister on my foot that didn't close up, that didn't heal up yet, and I needed to ride up to the next town. And he was like, okay, well, this is what I'll do. I'll go ahead and pick you up and pick up your friends' bags, and I'll drive it up to Cave City. And cool, that's how it happens. That's how it always happens, just meeting one person, how one action affects everything, It's like the ball was rolling. So started talking to him, he's got 8 adopted children, he's got 13 children in total. He's got 8 adopted children, and Marty was just talking about, core values. And how, even with core values, when he instills this into his own children, with the discipline that he has, he understands that it's a process. And I was relating to what he was saying, because that's it. This is a process. This isn't an overnight thing. This can't be an overnight thing. Because what happens is, if we don't work for it, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, when we work for it and we earn it, every step of the way, it's like it's so much more powerful. And that's what he was talking about. It's like, trust the process. Develop your skills. Yeah, we get that. Develop it, but then trust in the process. It's going to take from here to here, however long it takes. I mean, it's going to be as fast as it needs to be, or as slow as it needs to be, but it is a process, Let's develop it like film, like the old Polaroids. Let's bring that back, Have the Polaroid pictures, or you actually have to, shake it, and it's like, instead of just having instant. Don't get me wrong, instant is good. We also have to understand that things do take a process. Or do they? I don't know. But I like how he said it, though, because it develops. It's like character. Character develops over time, and it's like, that's something that this movement is striving towards, is that development process. And he's also talking about just how selfishness can really affect so many people, And what we mean by selfishness, the conversation between me and him, what we're talking about was the selfishness as in, me versus anyone else, me over anyone else, me over my own children, and it's like, it's true. It's like sometimes you see that, and inside the community you see that, and it perpetuates something. It's like the same lack of support and lack of encouragement that happens to the child in a broken home is the same thing that happens when you have lobbyists that are dividing what people, the power that the people usually have, through their government. And it's like, and that parallel really sets up something, because it's not even just the lowest of the lows that are dealing with the problem. It's also the highest of the highs that are dealing with this problem as well. When I mean highest of the high, I mean a wealth disparity. And I think there's something there. I mean, we can touch on something there, because if we can figure out more similarities between these two disparities, then that means we can figure out more solutions between those two disparities. And if we can solve the problem on one issue here, we can also solve the problem on this issue as well. You know, just carry it over. It's like, use that as an example, because if there's commonalities, then we can figure it out together. You know, if there's differences and we push it to the side, it means that I don't want to participate in it because I don't care. You know, but the minute that I start thinking about the similarities is when the whole world opens up, you know, and I think that's what we got to start, that's what we're doing here, you know. Occupy movement is doing that. We're focusing on the similarities, and don't get me wrong, the differences do get in our way, yet we still strive forward, because this movement is a movement of driving forward, you know. So let's keep moving forward here, and you know, let's develop these core values again, you know. And he's also talking about, like, you know, tolerance, you know. The tolerance is acceptable, you know, yet there comes a time when the tolerance has gotten too much, and, you know, we can only tolerate so much. It has to tip over more towards acceptance. You know, the minute that I can tolerate people, but that also means that I'm not accepting of people, you know, and it's teetering now, you know. It's on the teeter of tolerance and apathy, I think, you know. And for us to move towards acceptance, which is like a whole different dimension here, let's, you know, it'll open up something. And even acceptance of things that we don't necessarily believe in is still acceptance, you know. And I think that's touching on something here. I can feel it. It's like, even if I don't believe in it, just to accept it doesn't mean I condone it, but I have got enough faith that it'll be all right. You know what I mean? It'll be all right. As long as we can accept it, then we can move forward. You know, if not, then we're always gonna hold on to something. You know, and we can't fly high unless we let go. You know, we gotta let go of some things. And what's worth fighting? You know, pick your battles. What's worth fighting? And I think, you know, personal issues, yeah, the political issues, yeah, but I think what's most worth fighting for is the future, and the children of our children's children. You know, and it's like, how far are we looking ahead? What's our end game? You know, is it just our generation, or is it several generations beyond that? And I can wholeheartedly say that my end game is further generations beyond even my great-grandchildren. You know, let's look even further. Like, if I'm gonna make my life worth anything, it's gonna be as long as I can make it, you know. And that means I have to look forward to seeing what the children of the next generation are going to be thinking, you know. And how can I incite in them action? How can I inspire them through my own actions today, you know? And I think that's, you know, it's a hell of a way to wake up in the morning, I'll tell you that, you know. And when I go to bed at night, I'm pretty confident that I did the very best that I could. And the next morning, I know I'll do even better. Because that's what it's about. It's about doing better every day, you know? And I just want to end with this. I had 3 different phone conversations with 3 different friends of mine outside of the movement, and I got 3 different opinions about the movement, you know? And I think it's important that I realize that, because they're there to support me. I love them for what they do. At the same time, they also have their opinions, you know? And it's all 3 of them touched on 3 different things, and it was just, at the end of it, it was just, it was 3 different opinions, you know. And I think all I can do is I can do myself, you know. I can do what I do to the best of my ability. There's nothing anyone else can say about that, you know. And just do myself as best as I can, you know. That's it, you know. And after that, it's just, you know, icing on the cake, you know. What can I do today? You know, and if I'm not doing it, then I gotta check myself. And if I am doing it, then pat myself on the back. You know, but it really blew my mind, because, you know, there was no common denominator. The only common denominator was that they were loving and encouraging of what I was doing. You know, other than that, they segued into 3 different opinions. You know, and it's like, I get that. I understand that. That means that, you know, the actions that I'm taking is something that's never been done before, because there is no path. We're blazing a trail here, and I know that by trail blazing, there's going to be times when no one knows what to do because it's never been done before, you know. But I also know that there's going to be plenty of people that are going to follow in these footsteps. You know, they're going to do the same thing, you know. And it's important. It's important that we encourage each other. I get that. But it's also important to say, this is my opinion, and I want to say that it's only my opinion, you know? And everything else is just go forth. Make change, incite change, inspire, be the change that you've always wanted to see in this world, you know? Just do it. Love you guys. It's day 25, Cave City, Kentucky, and we're doing quite all right. Bye.
A hustle here and a hustle there. New York City is the place where they said, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side.